Guys, welcome back to our frugal kitchen. Tonight we're going to bake, along with me, Appalachian style biscuits. You're going to add self-rising flour to a bowl, about 4 cups. And then to the flour, we're going to add half a teaspoon of salt, or a pinch of salt, or leave it out. You do you. And next is the 4 tablespoons of just ordinary granulated white sugar. And then here is some bacon grease I've been storing in a sweet little butter dish I have. Just trying to get back into the ways of kind of using old traditional fats. I do love how in the States there's almost a trend of like going back to the old ways, how your grandma might make things. And I think growing up in the 80s and 90s, there was definitely that mindset that things like margarine were much better for you somehow. And of course, we've come a long way since then, and we realise actually unprocessed natural fats are better. And so I'm trying really hard to use them. And this recipe is just amazing with like your ordinary bacon grease. You don't need to sift it and clarify it. The flavours from the bacon fat works really, really well. Give it a try. Now we're going to take that really cold bacon grease that's straight from the fridge, and we're going to just place it into the flour and then rub it between our fingers and thumb for about, I think, 1 to 2 minutes will be fine. And then you get that kind of coarse breadcrumb texture that we're looking for. I'll show you here. Okay, you see, I'm happy that kind of breadcrumbs doesn't seem like I can do much more there, and so I know it's time to add in the buttermilk, which you do not all at once. So I went half and half here. Usually I go a little bit slower, but I was pushed for time tonight. And then just your spoon, give it a stir till it's incorporated, and then do the rest. So when you get to this stage, when you can't really mix it anymore, you're going to flour your work bench or counter or silicone mat, whatever you're using, and you're going to tip out the dough mixture onto that. And then we are just going to really gently start pushing down, pulling back together, folding over, pushing down. So we want to fold over because that's what gives you the really flaky, tasty, light texture of a biscuit. Don't want to go in there and knead as if it's like a bread dough or something. Biscuits need a lighter touch, I find. And then it's time just to take that dough and push down. You're looking for around about 1/4 of an inch in thickness. A little bit more is fine if you're going for the Gran's style biscuits like we prefer. You're going to push down, and then you're going to grab a tuna can works well, or I have a glass that I find is just the right size, or if you're lucky enough to have actual biscuit cutters, bougie, you do you. And you're going to cut as many as you can out and then reuse the dough. And so here we are, just using up the rest of that dough by bringing it back together, pushing it down, folding it over and making it stretch as far as we can, getting a few more biscuits out of it. And then here's the really clever bit. I cannot tell you how much I was stressed about using cast iron baking dishes, because they just always got dirty and rusty and like, anyway, so I found if you just put parchment paper in it, a bit of flour, it's absolutely fantastic. Doesn't stop the baking, doesn't taste weird. It's just great. I don't know why more people don't do this. Like, it's insanity to me. Is anybody else afraid of their cast iron? Just me? Okay. And it's really important that you place those biscuits close together, because that's going to also help your biscuits rise and be fluffy and have that gorgeous kind of uniformed appearance like you would have from buying the refrigerated canned biscuits in the supermarket. And the last touch just before we bake our biscuits is to whisk together an egg and a bit of water and give them an egg wash. Don't skip this step if you can at all help it, because it really does make all the difference. They come out looking golden and delicious, and yeah, they just look fantastic like this. I've tried them without it and they honestly look anemic. And now we bake in a preheated oven for 15 to 20 minutes at 425 degrees Fahrenheit. Here's the finished biscuits. These are delicious, honestly. As a Brit, I did not love the canned refrigerator biscuits, and they make me quite sick. But these are to die for, honestly. And I am going to show you briefly that we plated these up with sausage gravy. I do have that recipe. It's on my blog, and I will try and get a little reel together to show you guys how to make that super quickly in an instant pot. It's really delicious. I'm going to open one up here just to show you how fluffy and light they are. They're amazing, and the buttermilk really does make all the difference. Thank you again for stopping by our frugal pantry and supporting us on this debt-free journey with your kind messages and likes and everything. We appreciate you. It's less lonely because of you. Bye, guys.